So when it comes to these topics, which are identified as sections F and G, we included this and wanted to simply uh, analyze the various theories applicable to interest rate movements up or down in the economy. Monitor's theory, Mr. George started, and I intervened to explain that Monitor's theory believes that interest rate movements are driven by inflationary expectations. So um, a given increase in a potential increase in the money supply, if it's viewed in if it's viewed as inflationary, then it should have the opposite effect than what the Keynesian theorists would say, and that is interest rates will go up because lenders will anticipate that the increase in money supply will be inflationary. Um, that's the opposite. That's opposite to the Keynesian theory, which would postulate that increases in money supply, increasing the amount of available funds to lend, would then lower the interest rate. So Monitor's theory is driven by inflationary expectations. Keynesian theory is driven by the interplay between supply and demand for funds. Increase the supply, interest rates should go down. Decrease the supply, interest rates should go up. And so that's important because these are two views that were quite prevalent. Some economists believe in one, some economists believe in the other. And since corporate entities and banks and others employ economists, or they subscribe to economic forecasts, economic economic forecasters and researchers, and they pay for data and they pay for all kinds of consultants, that uh, the belief in one or the other could have an impact on economic decisions that economic actors will make, right? So if you believe that, if you're a monetarist and you see the money supply going up, you might react in a different way than a Keynesian, someone that believes in Keynesian economic theory as it applies to interest rates. So that was significant to cover a little bit, given that a lot of what we looked at with the central bank tools ultimately were interest rate impactful, right? Ultimately interest rate impactful, ultimately money supply impactful measures that we're looking at in tools 1 through 6 of the central bank. So that's why we covered Monitor's theory some and Keynesian theory some as they apply to interest rate expectations. The next sections, just so we can preview, talk about securities. These are precursors, uh, corporate structure, corporate capital structure, entity options for entrepreneurs, which is section, what is that, J?
Okay.
And then K, we actually talk about starting your company with raising capital. So we're going to leave it off here today. Thank you, Ms. Mboye, for being a real soldier, a trooper. Also, thank you for giving us a small preview of Swahili. Hopefully you can give me some more later. I've always wanted to learn Swahili.
Thank you for your time and the lessons from George, Angelica, and Rodney. Thank you so much.
Yes, so the next session should be relatively short in reviewing what we did before and getting through K. Should be relatively short, and we'll be sending out an invitation, letting you know when that will be. And be sure to let your colleagues, Ms. Mboya, in beautiful Kenya, who also are entrepreneurial minded like yourself, also strong mathematics students like yourself, or strong statistical students like yourself, or engineers, let them know about our sessions and invite them. All they have to do is send their email to Mr. George and Ms. Franklin, and they can be a part of our next session.
Yeah, sure.
So we're going to say good afternoon, good evening to the beautiful Kenya in East
Good
Africa.
evening. It is almost 6 p.m.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us, Miss Mboya.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.